Hello, hello everyone. This is Miss Cat. I'm super excited because I am taking a little break. I am going to be finishing up the remainder of the orders that came in. And just taking some time to kind of catch up. But I also want to take this time to be inspired and to kind of, I have a lot of creative flow and juice, So I like to, and I always run out of time. So today I'm excited because I get to work on what I love. Go, go. My dog is drinking water, sorry. Okay, so when you have a customer who is receding all the way back behind the ears, I have a weave buddy that I call the Mohawk Buddy. I have another one that I call the Perimeter Buddy. Depending on how much your customer is receding, you can choose, either the Mohawk Buddy or the Perimeter Buddy. The Perimeter Buddy would cover this really well, but I like the Mohawk Buddy personally. It just all depends on how much coverage you want to give them. But I like the Mohawk Buddy because it wraps around them and cradles them back here, so that's real nice. The Perimeter Buddy does do something similar, but it also covers more sporadic. This one the Mohawk Buddy, I just really love how it cradles. On this particular one, I added a little extra crown. It can't be a big full crown because then it would just kind of be jumbled up here. So it's a little extra crown. I also on this unit added a little extra, the thin lace, and put some color on the lace. Okay. So that when the closure or frontal is added, it just looks like her color. So I did that. But anyway, I want to start off by showing you guys what I do with my customers. They don't necessarily want to use glue, but they don't mind wearing a little tape, double-sided tape. I make sure that their scalp is clean. And also you do that by when they come in, you shampoo them and all that and give them a wonderful little treatment. But so we go ahead and just cleanse the scalp so that it's oil free. And we're going to make sure that the grip band that you use is also oil free. Nice and clean and oil free, because this is where we're going to be putting the double-sided tape on. This new grip band is very aerodynamic. I made it that way for women who suffer with severe hair loss. And in this case, to me, this is severe hair loss. We're going to go ahead and take one of the double-sided tape tabs and add it to the customer's hair loss. Now you want to make sure that she has no hair where you're adding the tape tabs. And if there is some hair, like little tiny hairs, if there are some hairs, make sure to always carry some of these around and just make sure that all that little extra hair, maybe she may have 2 or 3 little strands there. Make sure they're removed because this tape is really strong, and upon removing can pull out the little hairs that she does have. It's a really strong tape. This is going to be a light hold as far as I'm not putting a whole bunch of tape on. I'm just putting a few tapes. The Weave Buddy molds to the customer pretty well, so she really won't need more than that unless if she sweats a lot, she may need some extra, couple of extra tapes, and she may even need a little bit of the Ghost Bond. If that's the case, if she does need the Ghost Bond would go at the top, making sure there is absolutely no hair. It would go at the top, you blow dry it, add it a few times, and then you would be adding your band. Make sure that this is going to be centered properly, and now that bottom tape is being, hello, Miss Cute and Classy. Okay. Oh, cut and classy. I see. So now both sides are taped on. Okay, but that's the new aerodynamic. I am Karen. Hello, Miss Karen. How are you? The new aerodynamic grip band, as you can see, it's on. So these come with extra elastic for the different types of sizes. So you just, as a stylist, you just take it and then you're going to, sew it up so it could be nice and firm. When you're sewing these up, you don't need a big, long, extra long threading, because then you're just going to get all tangled up. So get a short threading for this, so it's easy just to get in there and sew it up. Okay. Once that's sewn up, then you could sew it on to her bottom braid. So now it's adjusted, and then it can be sewn on to that bottom braid. And you see how that braid is way over here, but the grip band is up in the front. You can do a little bit of a zigzag motion just to make sure that it's on there. But the Weave Buddy is going to take care of, this is not the Weave Buddy, this is just the grip band. So don't try, when you're sewing it, don't try to pull it to have it get close to your braid, okay? Because we want the grip band up in the front to keep the edges in place and to keep the Weave Buddy in place. So right now we're just doing a little bit of zigzag, kind of connecting them. I'm going to go ahead and quit there because my needle is almost out. see if I can get a little knot. Yay. Okay. And actually that attachment there is just fine. I'm going to go ahead and go to the other side. This lace can be colored with, hello, Miss Chandra 69, how are you? This lace can be colored, pre-colored with your lace tint, okay? Whatever lace tint you're used to. And if you have customers who have really sensitive, delicate scalp, always make sure that you test everything. You know, you want to make sure that they're not allergic to anything that you put on them. So if you have customers who have very, very sensitive scalp, always do patch tests on everything. Like, you know, if for me, I'll make a little band of the lace, the grip, and put it around them, have them wear it overnight. And also one little, I'll put a little piece of tape on them. All that's done before this whole job is done for women who are very sensitive and are allergic to everything. Because you don't want to have them pay, you know, for a specialty alopecia sew-in. Yes, I do, Miss Simply Beautiful. I do have virtual classes. Absolutely. And I work with you one-to-one. Let me see if I can turn this around. Hello. So I work with you one-to-one when we're doing the virtual class. And we just go through the motion. I have the camera on this. Don't forget to thank them. Oh, thank you for the badges, I think. So I do the one-to-one, and then we're just going through the motions, and you're showing me your doll head, and I'm showing you my doll head, and then we just go through the motions. You see how on this side the band is a little closer to this side? That's just how it is. You know, I try to make it really real. I try to make it to where you guys, I don't do like perfect braid pattern or anything like that. I do it, you know, so that it could look the most real. So now we're going to the other side and attaching this bottom band to the bottom braid. And then as you can see, because see, we already did the grip band. I'm not trying to move that band, but I just want to make sure that it is connected, okay? So I'm just going to do a zigzag, just like I did on the other side. Okay, and then once you take my class, I'm not going to start you off on, this is a more advanced level. We go through very slowly, making sure that you are, very well versed from, the basics, and then we slowly work our way into more advanced, okay? And to become a Wee Buddy Hero, it takes a few sessions. What I like to do is get you started on the fundamentals first. And once you have a good foundation, we'll set up our next class. You've been practicing, we'll set up our next class. That's included in when you take my Wee Buddy, when you sign up for my Wee Buddy Hero class, I break the classes up depending on how fast you're getting it, and how how much homework you did. You can absolutely get it done faster. But if you are, just needing your time, you can have your time. I don't like to rush anyone. You can have your time. It just all depends on the stylist, how much time they have to dedicate for this. But I can tell you, you're not going to be, you're not going to be at this level right away. It's going to take practice. Hello, Miss Kim. Miss S.M. Ritchie. Let's see. Oh, so this is for Natural Hair India. Okay. And let me get back to this, guys. So now this is attached very gently, and if you remember, we already put a double-sided tape in the front. I'm going to go ahead and just sew this little piece down. Now, this lace can have the color foam. Make sure to do your patch test so to ensure that the customer is not allergic to anything that you're using on her, especially if she's got a delicate scalp. Some people with delicate scalps, are very sensitive to many products. So you want to make sure that you do a patch test, and don't use just any product on people with delicate scalps, because their scalp will react. It's happened to me even recently. I bought a kit and it came with some gel, and I thought the gel was safe. Had not done enough research on it, I have to admit, but it seemed like it was a popular gel. People use it. I saw the reviews, and she totally had a full reaction to the gel that I put on her edges to bring that little baby hair down. And she suffered because she had itchy scalp. So I was pretty bummed out about that. But just be real careful with people who are telling you, hey, I have delicate scalp, my scalp itches real easily, blah, blah, blah. Make sure that you are using product that they're not allergic to, okay? Or else it just defeats the whole purpose of, having luxury, pampering their scalp with a scalp protector, but making them itch. It's like, no, you have to make sure you take the proper steps that they're not going to be allergic to anything. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And so now this is nice and on, applied. The reason I have these, and you'll find out right now, this little extra strand here is so that when you are attaching the weave buddy, you can see it's going to be attached to this. So you're not going to try to go through the actual grip band. The grip band gives you an extra advantage, is that you have a place to sew on. But, before I used to use this, you had to sit there and try to go through the grip band so that it could be, the weave buddy can be attached. Well, you could potentially poke people like that. So now I have this new little system where you're doing the attaching on this brown line instead of going through to the through to the grip band. Okay, guys, isn't that a great idea? Hello, how are you? Welcome. So now, as you see, I put on the weave buddy from back to front, okay? Look how that fits. Make sure, though, that it's even on both sides. So you want this to be Hello, 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 hello. I got cut off because of bad connection, bad Wi-Fi connection. I live at the beach. No one feels sorry for me about that. But sometimes the Wi-Fi just all of a sudden leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and start on making the Weave Buddy fit, customizing the Weave Buddy to fit. This is a mohawk buddy with a little extra crown, okay? You don't have to make it go through the little holes, guys. You have lace, and you see how I can put it through the big holes? You don't have to sit there and fuss with the little holes. The only time I like to do that is when I'm closing the, what I call slits. These little guys that are open, I call them, when it's open, okay, I call them slits. When you're closing those slits, I do like to get in there on that little hole, but other than that, I don't. I use the larger holes. And I'm going to go ahead and close. I call this one the large slit. Close this large slit up. And since we're going to be working at the front, let's go ahead and slip in a grip band so that we just make sure not to poke the customer. See how I'm going through the larger holes. Some people think that they feel like they have to go through the little tiny holes. That makes it really, really hard to do fast sewing, you know. The only time I do use the little holes is when I'm lining up the two at the very corners. And when I, just basically when you're lining up, when you're closing it down and you have to line it up so it's flat and perfect. Other than that, use your big holes. Get through there. Now, since I'm here and I do have a little extra thread left, I'm going to go ahead and attach the Weave Buddy to the, see the brown? I have to push this down. Make some attachments on that brown line there, because now what you're doing is you're attaching the Weave Buddy to the band, which will keep it just nice in place. It'll keep it down for you. And the wonderful part about that, having that little brown column there, is that you no longer have to try to look for the grip band to attach it to the grip band. Those days are over. Because you can definitely, potentially poke your customer that way, even though I was using the paddles, but it was really hard to see through. Now you know where that little brown column, you know that's where you can attach that Weave Buddy, you can attach it there, and it's not going to poke your customer. You're going through that just the brown part. You're not going through the black part. Going through the brown part, and I'm attaching it onto the lace. And then I'm going in to the wee buddy. Sometimes. Right now, I don't think you guys could see. There you go. See, let's see if I can get a close-up of this. You see that brown? I'm actually attaching it, the front of this wee buddy, to the brown. Right now, I think I did get it through the grip too, but you see, it's so easy to not be able to see. So the advantage of having that brown is that it helps you to attach the weave buddy without poking them and having to go through the grip band. If it happened to go through, then, you know, as long as you didn't poke them, that's fine. I mean, you're not doing wrong if you kind of go through the band too. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to prevent any poking. See how I'm like going around, going through it? So I'm just going through that brown. Alright, so I'm sewing on the brown, okay? And there is no sewing on the actual customer's braids right now, because we're working on the sides where there is no hair. And the grip band acts as a, you know, foundation to be able to attach to. So cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that on the other side. Right, these can be tied up until further notice in the front to hold it down in place for now, and then later these same strands are going to be pulled back so that to keep this even down even more. Okay. Any questions so far? Does anyone have any questions about this process? I do offer my virtual 1-to-1 class with Miss Cat to become a Weave Buddy hero. And I also do have an upcoming event in August for a 12-person workshop. Hopefully that will fill up. If not, I'm going to have to cancel it. So if you guys want to meet Miss Cat in person and you want to fly into San Diego, that is going to be a really, really good workshop if I can get enough people. You know, if I can't get the people to fill up the class, then I'll have to cancel it. So, but that is, you know, a wonderful way. I installed a Weave Buddy yesterday. Oh, how cool. How did it go? So yeah, I mean, people all over the country are installing the Weave Buddies. Some of them just take a look at our instructional videos and they do pretty good. Some people are just natural at it. Some people like to take my classes so they can basically pick my brain and get to, you know, do what I do. And just some people kind of wing it, and those are the people who don't do very good. You really do need some instruction on how to use the Weave Buddy. And the more instruction you get, the better you're going to be at it. So right now, I am going to go ahead and take a break. But thank you all for watching, and I'll be coming back.